Pasha sleeps and then weeps. Pasha, the yellow-bellied snake, was quite sad. Unlike many other snakes, he was not mean or rude, nor was he poisonous, which meant that no one was scared of Pasha in the forest, not even the littlest of baby rabbits or the slowest of rickety-legged old frogs. But Pasha was not sad because he was not fearful. He was sad that he couldn't catch any food. Of course, this was also because of the fact that Pasha was a very lazy snake. Even if his friends invited him to hunt or harvest with them, he refused to go along. He just did not want to get out of his cozy little mud home beside the roots of the shady teak tree. He loved to coil up and snooze, dreaming of the mouth-watering treats his mama would get for him to gobble when he was just a wee baby snake, just as big as a wriggly worm. Oh, how his mouth watered, remembering the yummy fresh eggs and the sweet soft mushrooms. He would really love to gulp down some of those now. But who would get them for him? Pasha sighed as his tummy growled, sounding a little like Shamsher the lion. He knew that unless he got off his coils and went out in search of food, he would have to go hungry.
Well, I guess a little fresh air will do some good to my skin,
thought Pasha as he reluctantly slithered out of the mossy warmth of his hole into the brightness of the afternoon sun. The morning dew had long dried, and the grass of the forest floor crackled crisply as Pasha idly snaked through it. He yawned wide, already missing his underground home, wondering when he would get back to his nap. Thinking of it itself made his eyes droop halfway down in sleep. But then, suddenly, boom! Pasha bumped his head on something big. Rubbing his throbbing head where it hurt, Pasha took a closer look at what lay in his path. It was a small pot of milk. Pasha grinned wide, not able to believe his luck. Coiling his tail carefully around the pot, Pasha lifted the pot and headed for his home. Once back inside, Pasha slumped tiredly as he rested the pot of milk against a mud wall. Phew! Heaving that pot had been hard work, and Pasha was not used to hard work, not in the least. He wanted to sip the creamy white milk, but then again, maybe he just ought to rest a little, for then he could enjoy its frothy, buttery taste even better. Pasha leaned against his mossy pillow, smiling at his find, knowing that he wouldn't have to worry about food for more than a couple of days now. Wouldn't his friends be quite jealous when they found out, especially Montu the monkey and the baby monkeys in his pack? Come to think of it, as the pot had so much milk, Pasha could offer some of it to the pack of monkeys in exchange for fresh fruits. Montu and his friends were very good climbers and could get Pasha the sweetest and ripest of the forest bounty. Pasha would then set up a shop right outside his little hole, trading the delicious fruits for juicy nuts, beautiful pebbles to adorn burrows and nests, and choicest roots and vegetables. Soon, his shop would have the best treasures the forest could offer, and animals would flock to him to trade and buy his wares. He would grow popular, and they would start liking him and respecting him. Then one day, they would all decide that he, Pasha, should be king of the forest. Even Big Bro, the bullying elephant, will bow down to Pasha and beg him to rule over the animals. Pasha would then be escorted on a splendid palanquin carved of birch and wreathed in sweet-smelling lavender flowers to the center of the jungle as the cuckoos and nightingales sung his praises. The tigers, cheetahs, elephants and foxes would kneel with their heads bowed as Pasha slithered towards his gleaming bright throne. He would smile graciously as the crown was placed on his head and not get irritated at the angry growls of Shamsher, who would no longer be king. Louder and louder, like a spoiled cub, he would stamp his paws and claw the ground, demanding that the crown be returned to him. Pasha would try to be calm and mild, but Shamsher would not listen and get angrier and angrier. The other animals would try to take Shamsher away, but the rowdy lion would not budge. And then Shamsher stubbornly would try to snatch the crown of Pasha's head. Pasha would be stern and ask him to stay away, but Shamsher would keep coming, grabbing at Pasha's crown again and again, till Pasha would lose his temper.
Stay back, I said.
Said Pasha as he lashed his tail out hard. Thwack! A sound cracked into his thoughts, and Pasha sat up with a jerk, realizing that he had dozed off and had been dreaming. But what had been that sound? Frothy white milk flowed onto the muddy earth, seeping and disappearing fast into it, leaving but a sticky wet patch behind. All too late, Pasha realized that instead of Shamsher, his tail had lashed out at his precious pot of milk and smashed it to pieces, smashing also his dream.
Oh no, I will never become a king now.
Cried Pasha, big blobs of his tears rolling down his cheeks.
And I am still hungry.
Poor Pasha, too much sleep, and now he weeps. Pasha wants to fly. The grass all along the forest floor glimmered green and wet from last night's rain, and all the jungle paths were slippery and slick with slush. This was a delight for the baby baboons who liked to somersault and dive splashing down into the mud, or for the naughty flying squirrels who swooped over dropping acorns about, spurting huge blobs of sticky dirt onto any animal that had the bad luck to be passing by. But Pasha the snake was not in the same high spirits as the baby baboons or the flying squirrels.
I've had it.
Exclaimed Pasha as he tried to flick away the brown grit that covered his tail.
I've had it with all this mud and dirt and grit and grime. And most of all, I have had enough of having to slither through it.
With a forceful swish, he writhed his body, trying to fling the dirt. But Pasha burst out in irritation, startling Minku Monkey, who happened to be swinging by.
Oi, Pasha! What's the matter? Are you practicing to sing?
Joked Minku, chomping a banana.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to keep clean. That's easy. Just stop crawling and slithering about.
Pasha rolled his eyes and muttered,
If I don't slither, then I cannot get to any place. Which place do you want to get to, Pasha?
asked Oslo the tortoise.
Oh, everywhere, Oslo. But I am just tired of getting dirty all over each time, especially after it has rained. Well, just take a nice long bath in the jungle stream,
Offered Minky Mouse, poking her head out one of the bushes.
Yuck!
Said Minku Monkey even before Pasha could answer.
I don't like baths at all.
Minky pulled a face at Minku as Pasha said,
Well, then I'll have to stay in the stream all day. You could swing from tree to tree. Or hop about, like Harry the Hare.
suggested Minky.
Or fly like Igor the Eagle, if you had wings.
Said Oslo almost apologetically. Pasha nodded sadly.
Yes, I could do all these if I had 4 legs or a strong tail or wings. But I don't. Anyways, thanks, friends. I should be going now.
And with that, Pasha sadly turned away, ducking into the grass, as Minky, Minku and Oslo waved and went their ways. It was the same afternoon that Pasha headed towards a fruit orchard near the jungle stream. He was quite hungry, and he loved lunching on the sweet, overripe berries that lay strewn all about the banks of the stream during the season. Soon, after a belly-filling berry feast, Pasha lay contented, basking, gazing at the vast blue sky above. Of all the things his friends had suggested, who were forced to stay on the ground, there would be no more need to crawl or slither. He would simply glide on his wings, happily free of all worries.
Well, I have never seen a snake smiling quite so wide like that for a while,
said a voice, cutting into Pasha's happy musings. Pasha stirred to see 2 tall, handsome storks with lanky legs and stretchy beaks.
I was just thinking about flying.
Ooh, and flying is all we do. Hi, I'm Sam and this is my brother Saru,
said one of the storks with a friendly salute.
I am Pasha, and I wish I could fly.
Saru smiled.
Well, flying sure is awesome. There's nothing like the view from up there. The beautiful forest like
Great patches of moss, the mountains like giant brown toadstools.
Oh, true of course. My favorite sight is the rainbow,
said Sam. Pasha felt wistful.
It must be beautiful. I wish I could get up there somehow.
Sam felt sorry for the sad snake, but there seemed little he or his brother could do about it.
Oh, well, it was nice meeting you, Pasha. Saru and I have to be taking some jackfruit to our cousins, so we will be off.
Jackfruit? How would you carry your heavy jackfruit?
Oh, that's easy. We share the load. Yeah, we tie to a stick and then lift the stick together and fly.
He had just got a great idea.
Then you two can take me up as well. I am lighter than a jackfruit and I can coil around the stick. You won't even have to tie me.
Sam and Saru were a bit taken aback at Pasha's proposal, but couldn't ignore his enthusiasm. Though a bit doubtful, they agreed, and soon the three were ready for Pasha's first flight. Pasha sat coiled at the center of a stick.
Okay, now remember, it can get quite windy up there, so you must sit still, else you may fall.
Pasha nodded and tried hard to keep his body from trembling with all the excitement he was feeling. Sam and Saru nodded to each other and, spreading their strong white and grey wings, took off with Pasha. Pasha's eyes went wider and wider and his heart beat faster and faster. With each meter, he rose off the earth and towards the sky.
Oh my!
He thought,
This is much more wonderful than I imagined it would be. The massive elephants are as small as ants, and the mighty trees look like weeds. And best of all, neither am I crawling nor am I dirty anywhere.
As he thought this, he felt an urge to check his tail and without thinking coiled it off the stick he was supposed to hold on to. With a slick, slimy swish, Pasha slid off the stick.
Ah! Pasha!
Yelled a panicky Sam.
Hey, try to grab the stick with your mouth. Okay, now this time don't let go.
Pasha nodded. A while later, they were passing over the jungle gym where Pasha noticed all his friends exercising. There was Minku Monkey, Minky Mouse, Oslo, and even Big Bro the elephant. Wouldn't they be surprised to find him in the sky instead of the ground for a change?
Hey guys, look at me. I'm flying.
But no sooner Pasha opened his mouth, fell hard, spraining his back on Big Bro's jogging machine.
Ow.
Mumbled Pasha painfully.
I can't move at all.
Poor Pasha, thanks to his foolish wish to fly, he couldn't even crawl now.